All right, so this intro is going to be a bit long. Apologies. We're on episode 11 of Finding a CS Job, and it's going to be the start of a very good set of episodes where mainly I'm going to be working on the React site, the Doopian website that I mentioned in episode 8. And yeah, I'm still nervous about it, but my plan for it is to show it as it is, the site that you guys are going to see. This way I don't have to have two versions hosted, and then worst case scenario, I can have a templated version if I just stop getting interviews or something. But right now I have what I believe to be a pretty big red flag on my resume. I have a project that I finished in January of 2019, 18, excuse me, so a year and a half ago. And to me, if I looked at my resume, that project, I would just think that I don't really get much done because it's like I've had a year and a half to have something better. Like, am I improving? Like, what have I been doing for a year and a half, you know? So this site is meant to replace that. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to having that eyesore off of my resume and off of my portfolio too. That'd be great. But yeah, so exciting stuff. You get to see the whole process. I have nothing to hide with the React website, so I'll be able to show that to you guys. And yeah, what's been going on in between episodes, just writing cover letters, applying, doing a little bit of lead code, and I've been starting some crash courses, starting to watch some YouTube videos for React. I haven't done a whole bunch, but after I'm done recording this intro, I will get back on that. And I've been taking some notes. So yeah, so far I feel like I kind of get what's going on, but still want to watch the whole thing, see what it has to offer, React. Other than that, I've been dealing with some problems with my sleep, and this is pretty major, I believe. It's like I get tired, or I try and go to sleep at normal times. I try and go to bed early, and then I don't sleep. I stay up all night until the sun rises, and then I go to sleep. I'll wake up at a reasonable time, late afternoon, and then either fall asleep again, or it's already super late, and like my day is basically, I don't have enough time to do things during the day. So my goal right now is to fix that. For one, just productivity, so I have more time to do things. I feel like I'm working with like 8 hours of my whole day, and then I have like 8 hours of extra sleep and trying to sleep. It's really bad. And maybe I have like 12 hours to work with and like 4 hours of that. But 4 hours is huge. Like, you could do a lot in 4 hours. And 4 hours every day, it adds up big. So that's the number one thing I'm trying to fix. And then after that, or simultaneously, just more work each day. I feel like my floor, it's rising, the amount of work I get done each day, but it's still not where I want it to be. I want it to be at that 5 hour mark, and I want my ceiling to be at that eight hour mark every day. So I've got work to do. My ceiling right now is like 4 hours, 5 hours maybe. So just getting into a routine. It's tough, man, when you're by yourself and no one's holding you accountable but you. It's tough. So I just want to sleep better, get more work done, and I want to multitask better. So how I'm working now, which I dislike, is I'll do one thing a day and just go hard on that, whether it's working on a cover letters, applications, whether it's lead code or like a project. I'll only work on one project. I won't work on multiple projects. What I would love is maybe in the morning, I get up, I write out some cover letters, I apply, or I look for jobs. Then I take a little break. After that, I work on some projects, take a break. After that, work on some lead code, take a break, go to the gym. After that, do some studying or some whatever, that would be great. This way, I don't forget things, because when you put things off, you end up forgetting what it is that you learned. So for me, if I can just keep up with it, have a routine, make sure that I cover all aspects of everything that I need to know, I'll be way better off. Because now, like, for instance, I did a leet code problem and I hadn't done one in a few weeks. I had to look up syntax for things that I wasn't looking up a few weeks ago. So there you go. That's a prime example of what I'm dealing with. So this intro wasn't actually that long. I'm going to watch some crash courses, and yeah, this video will probably be a bit long, maybe like 12-15 minutes long. But yeah, I'll see you when I have some stuff to show you for the website. I'll show you around what I have done in React. So exciting stuff. Stick around. Hello. So I'm all done with watching crash courses, and it has been 5 days since the last video, and I know what you're thinking. It shouldn't take 5 days to watch some crash courses and getting exposed to React. And you're right. You're right. But you know, the weekend was yesterday. It's Monday today, so I didn't do anything over the weekend, and I'm happy about that. And I'm going to continue doing that because I feel pretty damn good today. I feel a big surge of motivation today too, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. So yeah, aside from just watching YouTube videos and taking down notes, I needed breaks from that because it was really just dull. But yeah, I did some job listings. I found some of those, saved those, and I still need to write some cover letters. But yeah, did some searching for jobs, and then I also did some studying on technical interviews. I found a YouTube channel called interviewing.io that has a whole bunch of technical interview videos of people. They're like mock interviews, mock tech interviews, where it's being recorded and it's just a remote tech interview. So there's, you know, you got a Google guy watching you and instructing you and giving you hints and all that. And I think it's pretty nice if anyone's looking for computer science work to watch those, because it gives you an idea of what to expect. Because for me, I've never had a technical interview like that, so it was really nice to have that. And I even solved one of the problems. I decided to sort of solve one of the problems as I was watching. So I made a video on that too that I'll end up uploading at some point. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Sure, it's been dragging, but like I said in the last video or the take before this, I don't know, it's been a while. I'm trying to multitask more, branch out, get into a routine, do more work during the day. And my idea for that was to set up a whole bunch of alarms Monday through Friday. So I have an alarm to wake up, then I have like an hour to get ready, and then I'm starting the day with React. So I figure that's my main thing that I'm focusing on right now. So I'm starting the day with the main thing. This way I'm, you know, max energy, max focus in the beginning of the day. Then, you know, take some breaks, do some leet code, find some jobs, write cover letters, work on side projects. I want to hit it all every day if I can. And I knew this was going to happen. I got up late today, so I'm trying to play catch up. But, you know, just keeping up with the alarms is very motivating, and it's kind of nice. Like, you know, I'll be doing some work and then I'll see an alarm go off and it's like, okay, it's time to do something else. And it's like, man, I really want to, but I feel like I'm behind on my React studying. So I just got through with the React stuff, and I'm not going to do any programming today. I'll do that tomorrow because I want to, you know, like I said, branch out. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's quite nice. You know, it's not like I have any other obligations during the day, more than likely. So it's really good when you're your own boss, just setting up a schedule for yourself. And yeah, I like it. So just a little idea of what I'm doing. We'll see how long I keep up with it. Hopefully it sticks. And yeah, I'll try again tomorrow. All right, so here's what I've learned. Let me go back here. So I've learned a lot. I've learned how to like set up the project, as you saw in the episode 8. I've learned what JSX is, which is basically HTML inside of JavaScript, which is really nice. There's like very few limitations to it. Like you can't use class when defining an HTML elements class. You have to use class name, things like that. That's really the only one. And just how like the file structure is in React, how components work, how to set them up, how to export them. And then what else? Properties, right? Passing properties to components. And then the big thing is state. So that is basically like your server in a way. Your state is like your backend, and it determines how your website looks. So you'll have like variables saved inside the state object, and then based on what the variable values are, your website will look different. So for example, if I have a login system on my website, it'll look different if you're logged in or if you're logged out. Like there'll be a link in a nav bar saying to log in, and if you're logged in, it'll be a link to like your profile or something. So yeah, it's pretty big. State is like definitely the most complicated aspect of React. It's definitely the most confusing and the part that I am not looking forward to, and I didn't like it in my last job either, working with ClojureScript, Reagent, Reframe. I remember it took me like 10 hours to figure out how to do state management. Just going through documentation, no videos. It was awful. But yeah, so I will say the context API, which is a built-in state management system for React, is a lot simpler than Redux. And Redux is a lot more like what I worked with in the past, which is nice, so I kind of get it. But setting it up seems so complicated, so I will probably have an entire video of me just setting up Redux for the website and explaining everything, because it's a lot. And I really want to make sure that I explain what I'm doing in that video, because I really don't fully understand it. So once I can explain it, I feel like I can understand it. And yeah, there's a lot to it. It's very complicated. So in order to get like a minor change on your site, there's a lot of stuff that you need to write out to get this minor change to work. So it's not great in terms of smaller websites, but big corporations are using Redux because that's what it's good for. It's good for having a lot of data and all that. But for a small, simple website, you don't really need it. And I probably don't really need it for my website, but I'll try and make things more complicated to make it make a little bit more sense. And worst case scenario, I just expose myself a little bit to writing some Redux. And yeah, that's all. Yeah, so I'm done with React and Redux for tonight. I'll get started with that tomorrow, and then I'll have some coding in this video, and then there's going to be a ton more coding in the next one. I promise not to talk so much. So yeah, I'll see you then. One last thing I learned that I forgot to mention is routing, and that is how you change pages with React, because React doesn't have a server, so there's no other file other than one HTML file. That's it. That's all you have to work with. So what you're doing is changing the components that are being shown on this HTML file based on what the URL is that's being searched, or the address of the URL. So that I left out. Sorry about that. Okay, so I have a little bit to show you guys. First thing is Sass. I set that up, and basically what that is it's like CSS, but it can do more. It has more functionality, and I don't actually have an example used right now, but basically what you need to do to set it up is go into your package.json and then set up a function like so. It looks like this. This is what you type in. You could find a guide online. I'm not going to show you my package because I think it shows my GitHub in there, and I don't really want anyone seeing that from YouTube, so I'm going to leave that as it is. But yeah, you type this in, and then I named it SCSS, so my function is called SCSS. And when I do npm run SCSS, it runs node sass, and then what it's doing is it's watching my SCSS folder, and then it's outputting normal CSS to that. And you need to install node sass with npm, so you need to have that pre-installed. It's pretty easy, just a console command. And then basically any change that I make on an SCSS file will get converted to a CSS file that's actually readable by the browser, because .css is not readable by any browsers. So I got that set up. That's pretty much a gist of what Sass is. I went in more depth in a previous video, but I accidentally deleted the footage. So I guess we're talking about it now. So there's that. And then I really haven't done much with the site. I set up a router yesterday. Today's the beginning of a new day, so I'm considering setting up Redux just to get that over with. That's going to be the most complicated thing as well. So yeah, but here we go. So basically what routing is, it's how you change pages on a single page application. So there's only one HTML file, but you have a whole bunch of components that are like parts of a website. But an entire page can be a component in React. So that's basically what's going on here. And what you do is you have a switch, and then you have a bunch of routes and paths. And inside the router, I just have it covering the entire app here. And then, yeah, so I have a Twitch page, a contact page, and it's using the component home, the Twitch component, and the contact component. So these are all here. They're just simple H2s right now. There you go, contact page, home page. And then I even have a nav bar, and you can create links to these pages very easily. So you don't need to do an A tag. It's just this, just a link to that. And excuse me, I'm tired. And yeah, so it'll create a tag, and then inside of it will be an li, and that's it. Pretty sure you could do this differently. You could probably make this a span or something like that, but that's just what I saw online. And then in action, you go over here, so you can't really see it. Home page, if I click there, it's the Twitch page, contact page, home page, and there you go. So that's how that works. It's pretty basic right now, but yeah, more to come in the next video. So there you go. Got everything set up, and talked about Sass as well, which is nice. And now I feel like I'm pretty caught up with that. So this video is done, and then yeah, I'm gonna either set up Redux or just add some content to this website, and I'll have that in the next one. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you'd like.